Action Works Entertainment is proud to present Sittin' on a Tailgate podcast with your host, DJ Big Country.
I'm just sitting on a tailgate, man, drinking beer. Cool, let's let it bomb out, man.
Oh, yeah, it's another beautiful Wednesday night right here in Central Florida. Good evening, everybody. I'm your host, Big Country. Another episode of Sitting on the Tailgate here with you, where we talk about anything and everything, and it just doesn't matter. Believe it or not, it just doesn't. But don't tell nobody that, because then they won't listen to the show. But hey, all you northerners up there, you guys are getting more snow, and damn it, if it's not in the 80s here today and tomorrow's going to be in the 90s, oh my God. And then it's supposed to go up and down like a damn roller coaster next week. So go figure that one. But hell, I don't know. Anyways, welcome to the show. Like I said, we do this each and every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, Sitting on the Tailgate. You can find us at Spreaker.com/show/Sitting on a Tailgate. You can also find me on Twitter at DJ Lee. Facebook, you can find us at Backwoods Music. That's BAKWOODS music.com. Well, wouldn't be a .com. It'd just be on Facebook. It's under Sitting on the Tailgate. It's our fan page, as we say it. And I'm on Instagram under Big Country Music. I'm on Pinterest, same thing. So, yeah. I'm trying to make a lot of noise, get my name out there, but I don't know if it's working or not. It might be. Hey, at least it sounds good, right? Check this out, what I heard today. There is a case that is reopening today in the next week or so that happened back in 1959. Now, stay with me. Oh, I had to burp. Sorry. 1959. If you guys remember this, and I'm sure some of you do, well, ones that are close to my age or my parents' age or whatever, but 1959 was famous for Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper. Yes, we are talking about the movie La Bamba, if you've seen the movie, but the actual person, believe it or not, that owned the aircraft is actually contacted the NTSB and reopened the case. He still has the wreckage from this crash when they hit the side of the mountain when they left their show in Iowa to head to Chicago. The reason they chartered a plane, it was actually 4 of them. Believe it or not, you will not believe who the 4th person was unless you know who it is. It was Waylon Jennings, folks. Yes, believe it or not, it was a toss-up between Waylon Jennings and the Big Bopper. They were all sitting at the show, and they wanted to get to Chicago ahead of time because their bus broke down and the heater broke in it, and it was snowing like a son of a bitch. So the Big Bopper and Waylon Jennings flipped for it, and go figure, Waylon ended up staying on the bus, and the Big Bopper took the plane ride with Buddy Holly and Richie Valens. And about 3.5 minutes later, as soon as it took off, it came down. There's speculations that it hit something, or they just they're saying now that he had the pilot was not very experienced in flying. They say he flew it straight into the ground, but This is the whole reason why this gentleman that owns the plane, and believe it or not, he stays anonymous. He doesn't want anybody to know where he's at and where the wreckage is at. He still has the wreckage, believe it or not. He still has the plane, and it's tied down somewhere to where it can't be found, and nobody knows about it. But I don't know why. I mean, you got me. I have no idea why they're going to reopen the case. Maybe because of the fact that they got more technology now and they got more sophisticated equipment with the NTSB. Because back then, it was really, back in 1959, you really didn't have much to go on as far as, equipment. But, yeah, they're reopening that case. Believe it or not. Go figure. Be kind of interesting to see what happens on that, especially for y'all that like old music. But another thing in the news today, Shania Twain is coming back on tour. Yay! I thought she was hot back in the day. I still think she's hot. And my uncle, who's from Ohio, believe it or not, he's older than Dad. He's a couple years older than Dad, so he's in his 70s, and he still likes Shania, so he thinks she's hot. But, yep, Shania is coming back on tour, believe it or not, one more time. She's on tour through August of this year, and then she says that's it. She's going to hang up music. She'll close the tour down in August, just right before her 50th birthday. So she says once she gets done with that, she says that's it. She's going to sit back and collect the royalties and not do a dang thing. Hey, that's fine by me. Come down to Florida. Plenty of warmth down here. You don't have to hang up there in Canada and freeze your little tushy off. Okay, what do we got next here? Let's see what's cooking in the kitchen tonight real quick before we get on our last topic for this evening, or actually I should say our longest topic, because it's a barn burner. Let me tell you. I'll try not to rant and rave about it too much. I'm just going to be stating the facts. Stating the facts, well, actually they're my opinions, which is facts that they have produced. So, we'll see. But right now, let's see. Cooking in the kitchen. This is crock pot rabbit stew. Now, anybody that likes to hunt knows that rabbit stew is real good, especially if it's prepared right. So, we got 3 pounds of rabbits cut up. You got to cut them up. You can't just cook the whole rabbit. You got to cut them up, damn it. It ain't going to fit in the crock pot whole. You got 2 cups of dry red wine, any kind, 2 tablespoons of wine vinegar, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of whole cloves, half a tablespoon of pepper, and 2 bay leaves. Now, on the whole cloves and pepper, you can do tablespoon or a teaspoon. Just depends on what your liking is. Some people like a little bit more. Some people like a little bit less. Just depends. Put the cut up rabbit in a flat container. In a bowl, combine all the ingredients. Pour over top of the rabbit. Marinate overnight in a refrigerator. Place marinated rabbit in crock pot, add 1.5 cups of marinade. Make sure you cover and cook on low setting in the crock pot for 8 to 10 hours. So, yeah, make sure it's low. Don't crank it up to high, because if you crank it up to high, you're probably asking for trouble, because that rabbit might be jumping out of the crock pot. But, yeah, cook on low setting for 8 to 10 hours. You can serve it with potatoes and carrots on top of rice. So that is what's cooking in the kitchen tonight, is the crock pot rabbit stew. That sounds pretty good, I think. Don't you think? I do. I think so. Well, tonight would probably be my last night, at least for 2 weeks. Bike week kicks off Friday. Yay! I will be busy. I will try to do a broadcast if I can. If I can't, I will definitely be back the following Wednesday. We got plans in the works here next month to kick off the show and have at least an hour program each Wednesday. I'm still looking for a sidekick. If you're interested, you think you can handle it, you're in the local area, hit me up. Send me an email, actionworksmusic@gmail.com. And we can go from there and check you out and see if you can handle it or not. But let's play one song here real quick before we get going in my next topic. This is by Two Steel Girls. It's called Take Me Back.
Chase my dreams, too fast paced for a girl like me. Lock lights bloom at early light, and bonfires burn all through the night. These bright lights and crowded rooms can never take the place of you. Bless my soul, take me back to my home sweet home. You know, willing and the creek don't rise, take me back to that countryside. And I know where I belong, where the days are slow and the nights are fishing on a bank underneath the stars, floating down the river on a party barge, laying in a hammock till the day is gone. Tennessee, mama, won't you take me home? Free falling, free flying. Lord have mercy, bless my soul, take me back to my home sweet home. My heart's calling, heart's crying. The creek don't rise, take me back to that countryside. The willing and the creek don't rise, take me back to that Bury me here when I'm dead and gone. Tennessee, mama, won't you take me home?
Yeah, baby, Two Steel Girls. Go check them out. They're all over Facebook. They're on Instagram. You can hit them up on their webpage. I believe it's the number 2, and then steelgirls.com, I believe. But just Google them. Check them out. They're real good, I promise. Okay, let's get into our big topic for tonight. First, I want to say that I'm not for and I'm not against this information. I'm just putting it out there for y'all to judge and decide. It's like everything else. Give somebody something to talk about. But we're going to talk about Ferguson and the statement that the Department of Justice handed down, the fact that they did the study on the police department and how they determined that the police department was racist and was profiling. Now, these are the statistics that they had posted on news media and websites, and actually on the news too and everything. Ferguson, Missouri is only 20 square miles wide. If anybody else have ever been through it or know where it's at, it's not a big town. It's really not. Now, supposedly out of 3,500 pages of documents from 2012 to 2014, this comes from the police department's records, the jails, the courthouses, the judges, because the courthouse ain't very big. I think they got maybe one judge in the whole town. And supposedly everybody in town knows what day court's on. But out of the 3,500 pages, now, get this. I'll give you a rundown. This comes from the Census Bureau that I got from 2010. There's 21,203 people in Ferguson, Missouri. Now, this is from the census of 2010. Now, it's probably gone up a little bit, but 67% of the population in Ferguson is African American. Okay? And out of that 67%, now see, this is what I don't understand, because they're trying to see now. I don't know if they're taking their total from the 67% of the African American. I think what they're doing is they're taking their total from just the, I guess just from the numbers of the African. No. I'm sorry. They are taking their total from the amount of the population. Yeah, 67% black. So it figures out to about 14,204 African Americans and 33% white, or not necessarily white, but just other race, like Asian, Indian, whites, whatever, equals out to about 6,996. So if you take that total, that equals up to about 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22. Yeah, about 22,000. So out of the 22,000, we'll figure a round number. Out of 22,000 people in Ferguson, 93% that was arrested were African American. 85% that was pulled over were African American. 88% that was forced arrest, whether it be doing a search and seizure or forcing them to the ground, having to handcuff them or strap them or something like that. 88% was African American. And out of all the citations in the town of Ferguson, 90% were all African American. That was citations from between 2012 2014. Now, stay with me. I don't want to lose you, but I'll try to make this sound interesting. But what I don't get is why is the Department of Justice making this out? Just because there's 50 police officers on the police force in Ferguson, and 50 of them are white, and there's only 3 African Americans on the police force. I understand that. Okay, that's fine and dandy. That's a beautiful thing. Now the Department of Justice is calling them racism because they think that they're out to get the black folks. No, I don't believe that, because I have spent many years working in jobs that it's not about the African American. It's about what job's best for what person. If you are black, white, purple, pink, whatever, and if you are good for that position, more power to you. You know, I would rather you back me up or have my back or whatever. If I'm working under you, if you know that job and can do that job better than anybody else, I don't care what color you are, that's great. It just so happens that Ferguson has 50 police officers and only 3 blacks. Well, then they need to look into the fact, so why is there no more African American people applying for jobs at the police department to kind of even the balance there a little bit? Because that doesn't make them racist just because there are more whites than blacks there working in the police force. And how does that make them racist even though there is more white people than black people? It's and you got to look at it too. Also, out of 21,000 people or 22,000 people that live there in Ferguson, 14,000 of them are all African American. So the numbers with the 93% and the 90% and the 88% and 85% are going to be higher. Yes, because there's more African Americans in the town than there are other races, whether it be white, Asian, Indian, whatever. So your chances of getting, more speeding tickets or whatever doubles each day, especially if they're doing a 2-year study from 2012 to 2014, you're actually doubling the chances because there are more African Americans than there are other races in Ferguson. So I just don't understand why the Department of Justice would say, why would they say that, that the town is racist? It doesn't make them racist. I mean, unless they seen something that was in the reports that made them think that, I wouldn't think so. But I look at it this way: if you think the town's racist, then produce the papers, produce the report, show us what you mean, tell us why you would say this, But that's my gripe. So it's I mean, when it comes to this situation, especially nowadays with the with racism and blacks and whites and stuff like that, why can't people just get along? I really don't understand why people can't just get along. When I grew up back in the days, back in, 80s and 90s, never, ever, ever had this kind of problem. I can remember in high school back in 85, I remember the first black couple, or the first black and white mixture couple that I've seen, and I can still remember their names to this day. They were the most friendliest people in school. I knew them all 4 years. They were great people. And then that's when I knew right then, that things are going to change in the world, and that's fine and dandy. It's going to change. Everything's going to change. But damn it, we got to stop doing this. The government is going to start squashing down on everything and anything. Why do you think they did what they did with the internet? They're trying to take control. They say they're trying to take control, they're saying they're trying to help us be better. Well, they're trying to do what other countries have been doing for the last 60, 70 years, and you can't do that with the Americans the way we have lived in our life in the last 100 plus years or whatever. The way we do things and the way they do things over there is totally different. If we would have started what they were doing back 50, 60 years ago, that'd have been a different story. It probably would have worked. But there again, especially with the healthcare, you can't just sit there and all of a sudden decide to try to say, we're going to utilize healthcare and we're going to run it and it's going to be this way and this way and this way, when everybody for the last 20 plus years that I know, especially my parents, when I was going to the doctor when I was little, you had a choice. You had a choice to go pick what doctor you wanted and who you wanted to see. Now they want to govern everything. They want to tell you what doctor to see. They want to send you to what hospital they want, and kids in the school system. These tests and stuff that are going on right now, holy crap, this is ridiculous. Let the kids learn. Quit with the damn tests. Let the teachers teach and just have fun. What happened to the days of having fun in school? You had an hour for PE. I don't even think they have PE hardly anymore in high school. I took carpentry in school. I had 3 years of carpentry. It was great. I loved it. They had an air conditioning program at school. They had what else? They had the Future Farmers of America. They had a garden outside, right outside the shop and everything at school. It was great. It was fun to go to school back then. I can just imagine what it's like today because of all the crap. It's just ridiculous. And They need to stop it. Let the kids, instead of trying to control the kids and trying to make them learn what you think they should learn, let them learn and just teach, you know. I guarantee you they don't teach any more about President Lincoln or George Washington or the Battle of the Bulge or Bunker Hill, you know, none of the stuff that I learned in school, Civil War stuff, I guarantee they've pretty much almost cut it all out. They don't teach that stuff anymore. Stuff that's made America what it is today. They don't teach that no more. Now it's all about Iraq and Iran and Saudi Arabia and yada, 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 and ISIS and crap like that. We don't need to learn about that. That's not, you know, it's going to happen because the Bible says it's going to happen. You know, let the government deal with that. Let Americans live the way they should live, like we used to. You know, improvise, overcome, and adapt. Just because there's politicians that says, well, we can't do that no more because times have changed and we've gotten different. Well, you know what? The reason that we can't do it is because socialism the way it is. Society has made it that way. You know, how's the old saying goes? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, let's get back to the basics of life and do what we like to do. And I promise you, it'll be better for everybody. Jeez. Some people, I tell you. Let's throw in another song here real quick before I sign off. This one's called Fishin' Cold Beer by Brian McConnell.
Sitting around the fire, it ain't burning, so I'm gone fishing tonight. Think of all the things that I could be learning. Well, I'm gonna be alright. I got a bucket of chum in the cooler, made to last all year. All I need is a fish and a nice cold beer. Down by the river where the fireflies glitter, I'll be fishing that hole all night. Bullfrogs are singing, but the fish ain't clinging to the end of my line. I got reel to last a lifetime, same tackle box every year. All I need is a fish and another cold beer. I've been down on the water for a while. Know how I miss her toothless smile. I'm gonna turn this boat around, head on out of here. But first I need a fish and another cold beer.
Yeah, buddy, another Wednesday night right here at Sittin on the Tailgate. I'm your host, Big Country. We're going to get up on out of here. Half-hour show tonight. Don't forget, I'll be in Daytona next week, so if I get a chance to broadcast live, I will. If not, we'll be back on the air again the following Wednesday, so make sure you make plans. We'll do it again, I promise. So until I see you again or talk to you again on the air, have a good week. Be safe. Be nice to everybody. Uncle Ben, Uncle Cindy, go to bed. Bye-bye.